Hello everyone and welcome back to the Criterion Con, and yes, it's another haul. Yes, in the UK we have a 2 for £25 deal on Criterions. We've had a long overdue sale and it's finally hit. Let's see what I picked up. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Criterion Con, and glad you decided to join me here today. Now, I did not expect to be back here so soon doing a haul video, because as you know, I went quite big and got 15 titles in the flash sale that Criterion did, and now the UK has got a deal on that has been long overdue. I've been kind of waiting, when is this going to happen? And it finally did. A few days ago, and you're lucky that you're getting this video so soon, because it was going to be going up around Sunday, but luckily the Criterions that were delayed came a little bit early for us to check out. I'm just going to mention as well, if you're wondering, okay, the setup's changed a bit, that's because I've made more room for space, for Criterion space, because I only had one shelf left after I got those 15 titles during the flash sale, so I was like, you know what, I need some more room. I got creative. And so yeah, this is, you know, no pops anymore. They're actually on the top of my wardrobe. Okay, you don't want to hear anything about that. Let's get into what I bought. And of course, in spine number order, we have, of course, they're hidden behind the Godzilla. First one is spine number 545, is Easy Rider. Now, I've seen this film because as soon as I watched it on streaming. As soon as I finished it, I thought, you know what? I'm buying the Criterion. I'm glad I waited, so I got it nice and cheap in the deal, by the way. It works out that there's £12.50 per Criterion. It's excellent, you know, it's a bargain, so go ahead, go crazy, or go small. You know, I put loads in my basket and I ended up with 8. I don't know if I mentioned that, but we're going to be looking at 8 titles today. And the first one, of course, is Easy Rider. It's an interesting film. It's quite... I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It's the film where, you know, the Born to be Wild, riding the motorbikes. This is the film that kind of did that. It's very much counterculture. It's definitely a product of its time. It's got an early Jack Nicholson in a small role, but it's actually Dennis Hopper. He directed this. He stars in this, and it's really interesting. Some interesting editing techniques they use in here. So I wouldn't really recommend you buy this straight away. I would recommend you find it, however, rent it, watch it, see if it's for you. Could be a bit of an acquired taste. It's a little different, but I really do enjoy it. I do enjoy the counterculture kind of thing. And there's another film that I'm going to be talking about as well in this video that is quite similar vein to this film. Next up we have Kiss Me Deadly. This is spine number 568. And I don't know too much about this film. It looks to be a bit of a noir. The cover is always kind of... It's always kind of interested me. It always looks kind of like a magazine cover, and maybe that has something to do with the film, because when the essay looks to be almost like a magazine cover as well, but I'm not going to really... I don't want to read into it. It's directed by Robert Aldrich, who did he did The Dirty Dozen. He's meant to be a pretty good director. This was 1955 it was released in, so yeah, I was just really interested in this one, and I thought, well, why not? Because I looked at some of the films I was interested in buying. I looked if they were on any streaming services, and if they were on a streaming service, I wouldn't buy them. I would watch them on there and then decide if I want to buy them. This one wasn't, so I decided to buy it. Next up we have spine number 795. It is Gilda. And this is one that I've been interested in picking up, because this was part of the 3 for £30 deal that we had back in November, and I had someone. I bought a few. I think I bought 6 in that last haul, or maybe even 9. I can't remember. But someone commented on that video saying, "Why didn't you pick up Gilda? Why didn't you get this? It's so great. It's one of my favourite films of all time." And so it kind of put that film on the map for me. And I just want to point out how lovely that you've got a nice pink spine here, and that is it. It looks very nice on the shelf, I must say. It is. I do know the plot of this, and I do like the addition of just having that really pink spine there and everything else in black and white. It's quite feminine. It's quite... Yeah, it's quite, you know, it's making kind of a bit of a statement there, which I like, and like I said, it looks really nice on the shelf. Of course, it stars the glorious Rita Hayworth in a role that she's one of her most famous roles. This is kind of a noir romance film. It looks really interesting, and you know, I love my noir. And so hopefully I enjoy it. Yeah, that's Gilda. And hopefully, you know, I took that person's recommendation because I thought, oh, well, that was, maybe I should have bought that. And I looked into it and it's actually quite a famous noir. So yeah, that is Gilda. Next up, we've got spy number 810. It is In a Lonely Place. Now, I got the chance to watch this because a lot of my Criterions arrived. And then I was like waiting on these other two that were delayed, got them today. And so I thought I'll try and at least watch one of the Criterions I got so I could talk about them because a lot of them I hadn't seen. So I watched this one last night and it's really good. What a performance from Humphrey Bogart. It begins, Bogart plays a screenwriter and I thought it was going to take kind of the road of something like Sunset Boulevard. You know, I thought it was going to be something like that, a Hollywood story made by Hollywood of a Hollywood star. And then something happens, and it becomes a noir, and you're hooked. And Bogart is suspected of murdering this woman, and you're thinking, no, he couldn't have done it. No way, no way. He's innocent. And then you think, wait a second, is he? Isn't he? And it's kind of like a conflict in your mind. Is he or isn't he? It's a bit of a whodunit, but it doesn't really focus on the murder. It focuses on this character that Bogart plays brilliantly. He goes dark in this film. He's really good in it. I haven't seen much of Bogart, but it seems that it's the type of character that you wouldn't really see him play. He does a lot of unrespectable things, perhaps. It's a good screenplay as well. It's written really well. Some fantastic character dialogue exchanges, but it can get it's only 90 minutes, which is a good length. I would recommend this, but it does feel a little longer than that, and it can get lost at the end. And I thought the ending was a little bit underwhelming, but I'd still recommend picking this up. It's directed by Nicholas Ray. Yeah, really glad I got to watch this, and yeah, I would recommend it. Next up, we have Mildred Pierce. This is spy number 860, starring Joan Crawford. This is another one of those kind of female-led noirs, maybe. I know this is maybe a noir, maybe a bit of a romance as well. I do know someone who really likes this film, so they rate it very highly, so I thought I'd chuck it in there and watch it, and I can talk to them about it. But yeah, 1945 as well. It's directed by Michael Kreutz. He did Casablanca, so yeah, I'm expecting good things from this. I'll be watching this. Well, yeah, it says melodrama. I read the synopsis for this and it sounded not something I typically watch, but I always like to expand what I'm watching anyway. And it seems like a bit of a trend. Lots of American films from the 50s and the 40s. We've had a lot actually. Easy Rider was late 60s, something like that. But we've had a lot of noirs and kind of, films from the 40s and the 50s. Next up, we've got spy number 925. It is Midnight Cowboy. Now, this is a film that I watched on streaming, similar to Easy Rider. As soon as I finished it, I thought, gotta get that on Criterion. So I'm glad I waited again to get it at a very good price, because I knew we were going to get a deal at some point. So I held off, and I thought this film would have been included in that deal, and of course it is. Loads of films are included in the deal, by the way. I think the only films that weren't included in this 2 for £25 deal are brand new releases and digibook packs, and of course box sets. And this is really good, and this was the film in the same vein as Easy Rider. It's very counterculture. The editing is kind of, it's 1969, going into the 70s, the American New Wave. Got a new director, you've got John Shinglesinger directing here, and this one Best Picture as well. It's got a great performance by Justin Hoffman. John Voight's also pretty good in this as well. And like I said, the editing's great, some great visuals, great visual storytelling used in there as well. It's definitely a classic. It's definitely a film that you should check out. Won Best Picture. Yeah, I would recommend you get this in the deal. Next up, we've got spy number 945. It is Raisin in the Sun. This stars Sidney Poitier. I think that's how you say his name. And I believe this was actually based off a play. I do know there is a Sidney Poitier film based off a play. I think this is the one. And it's really a nice release from Criterion, and I'm really interested in watching it. It's quite long though for a film based off kind of a play. It's 128 minutes, and I do like the style of this release. It's quite nice with the cover, and then when you open it up, the essay, the material they use, is really nice. It's nice soft paper. So yeah, it's a really nice release from Criterion, and I thought, like I said, it's something different. I don't know if I'd ever have watched this film, probably. You know, I want to watch everything. Well, you know, watch most good things, and this is meant to be really good, so yeah. And finally, we have Death in Venice. This is spy number 962. It is directed by Luchino Viscotti, who meant to be a great Italian director. I haven't seen any of his work until I check out Death in Venice or his other films like the Leopard, or he did a few others I can't remember. And this is one of them. It's, yeah, a bit of a blind buy actually. It's 1971. I love my 70s cinema. And it's meant to be quite misunderstood, controversial, maybe. I'm really unsure why. I will find out when I watch the film. I'm not really sure on the subject matter. But it's just always looked like an interesting film to me as well. I love Italian cinema, so I just thought I'd pick this up. The essay, all standard stuff. It's just quite an ominous cover. You've just kind of got like this woman here, and then when you open it up, you take out the essay. You can look at the back of her as well. It just looks really interesting to me. So yeah, let me know if, you know, these films that I haven't seen, let me know if they're any good. I will be checking them out eventually. I still haven't watched all the films that I bought in the last 2 for £25 deal, which was almost over a year ago now, almost coming up to a few months later. I'll have owned some of these films for over a year, so need to get on that. That is everything I picked up in the sale. Let me know what you picked up. I know a lot of other YouTubers kind of jumped on the sale, Movie Bug, Alex Pitt, and those guys picked up some great films as well. So yeah, let me know what you guys picked up. Really exciting time. The sale, I forgot to mention at the beginning, but it goes on until, I believe, April 19th. I'll put a graphic up because I might be wrong on that, but I believe it's April 19th. And don't be surprised if I buy maybe 2 more, because it is really tempting. I mean, £12.50 for a few Criterions is like, it's really tempting. I'm just going to be sifting through the HMV website, kind of just like, do I want to get that? Do I not want to get that? Because it's, again, really tempting. So yeah, and of course, these, you know, I'm just kind of getting these films out. People over in the US, you know, I'm sure you'll be interested in buying these films when your sale kicks in as well. So thank you all so much for watching, and of course, I will see you again in the next video.